gamers? Welcome back to a brand new podcast episode. I don't know what to call this. I don't know. I'll think of something, maybe, whatever. Maybe this will be the unknown podcast forever. Maybe. But I was thinking over the weekend about lowering the difficulty in gaming because I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Metaphor over the weekend. And I was just thinking about this casually of what are everyone's thoughts on lowering difficulty? Like, should people do that? Is that like what is the point where it's like, okay, fuck this, I'm lowering the difficulty, I don't want to bother or whatever. And I got some interesting feedback out of that. I got people saying like, hey, if the enemies are just, if all the difficulty does is like change the damage scaling, where it's like, oh, some enemies just take more damage than others, who cares, whatever. Lower it doesn't matter or whatever. And ultimately, obviously, it's like, yeah, it's your choice, it's your game, do whatever. But I've also seen some people just say that, criticize at least the option being there. But I do think that it's a nice option to have, to always allow people to choose how they want to play the game. But I was just thinking about this because I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and this was a game I was on and off with. And not really because the game was bad or anything. It was just on and off because I was playing other games, and I got distracted by it, by playing it. But I like the story. I like the game. I like the game so far. But I went back to it, and the thing I remember disliking, and that maybe kind of put the game down for a bit, was at a certain point the game tells you, oh yeah, you need like a specific ability to actually do actual damage to these enemies, and your party will need to be buffed to do actual damage, otherwise they'll do 1 damage. And I hated that. That to me was like, a buff should always be an option that you can do. Like, oh yeah, I want to buff my party. Yeah, I want to do that. It should never be, yeah, you want to do minimum damage, you need to buff your party. It's like, I shouldn't have to be forced to do that, especially when the buff in question needs a specific skill to be like available, and you need to build that skill up to use it. It's like, that's annoying to me. Like, you do one encounter, you did it, okay, next encounter you need to build that meter again. It's like, this isn't like worthwhile to do, because by the time that skill gets built, your party could just be wiped out, and then it's just not a good time, because you could easily swarm to, because other enemies could join the combat. So at this point, I was just already thinking, I'm just gonna lower the difficulty, because at this point, like, I got this game at launch, whenever it came out on the Switch, I got it then, and then I was on and off since, and it's like, I just want to beat this game at this point. Like, now I'm just curious for the story, I don't care about the gameplay. So I lowered to casual and I beat the game. I like the game. I like the story. It's a fun story. I see why a lot of people said that, hey, if people liked 1, they'll love 3, because there's a lot in 1 that made me think of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So I loved it for that. So yeah, I loved 1. I see why a lot of people like stand by this game. So I do like this game. I do like it a lot. And yes, I played it with the English dub. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the British voice acting is so stupid. Oh. Look, 1, the original game that came out on the Wii only had the English dub, which tells me that's the intended voice the developer wants you to hear. They did add a Japanese dub eventually, which, are for cowards. They're for little babies who don't want to deal with accents, I guess, right? Just like how people don't want to read subtitles. But anyways, I listened to the English dub. I thought it was fine. There's a charm to it. So whatever. I did dubbed like everyone else should for this game, but whatever. That's just me. Like the ending, like the characters, solid game. I then go to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, I also played the extra story, I should say that. I did not beat that yet. But that one I'm playing on normal, and I may lower it to casual if I get annoyed enough. I think with the extra story, I'm trying to just play it on normal as much as I can. And then if I either lose interest or if I'm just like getting frustrated, I'm just gonna lower it to casual and just steamroll whatever I'm stuck on. So it'll just be like on and off kind of basis. I will try to grind as well to gain experience, obviously, but I think I'm just going to go by how I feel about the game at that point. Two, I did watch some cutscenes to jog my memory of the story. I've only made it to chapter 2, so it's like I'm not that deep into it. I'm just gonna say it. I think I'm gonna hate 2. I think there's gonna be stuff I'm gonna be interested in. Like I think I said this before. Like the stuff between Pyra and Mythra, I think are gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna like the whole thing with that. But I think I'm just gonna hate the game. I don't like the characters. I don't like I don't like the dialogue. I don't like the humor. It's the only Xenoblade game that seems to have this very odd humor in it. Not and it has a sexual humor that I hate as well, so that's there. But it has other stuff that's just it doesn't need to be in this game. Like you play Persona 4 and then you go to Persona 5 and a lot of stuff, a lot of the DNA in 4 is like in 5. You would think that the stuff that's in 2 would carry over to 3. It doesn't. 2 is the only game that has these weird anime bullshit in it, and 3 is actually more like in line with 1. I don't know why, but 2 is annoying. I some of the humor, it's just kind of annoying, and I don't want to. I don't care for it. So I think there's a lot going against Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm just gonna say it, and I vaguely remember someone describing the final boss in 2 years ago, and it sounded miserable. Like it just sounded like misery. So I don't know where I'm gonna land with this game. So I have a lot to look forward to this game. There's a lot of stuff going against it. But this might be another game where I made this lower to easy if I'm just annoyed enough. So there's that. And then there's Metaphor. I've been playing this game as well. And this is what kind of jumped this difficulty discussion because I don't know what it is. Everyone I talked to was like, "Oh, this part of the game is easy." I never had an issue. I don't know why I had an issue with this in this segment. I don't know because throughout the game, I've had issues. Sure, I got frustrated in some parts, but a lot of that was because I didn't have Dekaja, I didn't have certain skills, and I might have been underleveled in some cases, but I was able to catch up in those fights, and I was able to overcome them. There were only 2 boss fights that I lowered the game to easy. Only 2. I want to say 1, but maybe there's 2. I can't remember, but 1 or 2 boss fights are where I lowered it to easy because these boss fights were in a specific spot where you could not grind. Like the game would just tell you, "Oh no, you can't go there. We have to go to this area. We have to go to this area." It's like, okay, I guess I have to go to this area. I can't go anywhere else. The most that I could have done was like buy items and do archetype shit, but I can't do anything else than that. So it's like, okay, I need to lower it to easy because I can't progress without beating this boss. But then the boss after that, I was able to beat on normal just fine, etc., etc. And it's like, so right now, the date I'm at like October 15th, 14th, whatever. I'm like 10, 15 days away from the deadline in October. And it really is to the point where I was playing it like, okay, let's play on normal and I'll like grind as much as I can. If I can't get to where I need to be by the time that I need to beat this guy, I'm just gonna lower it to easy and just coast through the game, and that's that. And it's just not worth it anymore. Like I'm starting to lose patience with this game. I then tried to lower it to easy, and even now is giving an issue because these enemies were all level 60. Level 60 to 65, and I'm level like I want to say I'm level 45. So it's kind of like a bad situation I'm in level wise. But I'm just sitting there like I can't like go on. So I'll just lower it to easy and just go from there. And even that was not enough to like help. Then I'm like, okay, fuck this game. I'm just gonna lower it to storyteller just so I can like experience it. At this point, I just want to see the story. At this point, like I'm losing like a lot of patience, and I just want to see the end. And even that was not really worth it because I tried an encounter on Storyteller, and all it really does is it gives you an item where it'll just respawn, like it will revive you automatically if your party dies, and it's like this isn't really fun. Like I thought, okay, like oh I'm gonna learn the Storyteller or easy, I'll just be able to just do more damage and I'll just be able to coast through the game and beat it. But it doesn't do that. It just makes it like it may affect some RNG in some cases and all that kind of stuff, which is like whatever. But it didn't change the damage output. I don't think that much, and it's or at least maybe it's just the purely under leveled, and that's why I'm not doing any major damage. Whatever, that's fine. It is what it is. But Storyteller, it's like yeah, I don't want to do this. This will just drag out the game. And I just don't want to. I just don't. This isn't fun. Like it just came back around to just not being fun, and that's why I was like thinking about this lowering difficulty thing because I've been playing Metaphor for like months since launch, and it's really to the point where it's like I may have to start the whole game again because I'm not a good level right now. I'm not like set up decently at all. Like I don't have a good setup at all. And I'm not gonna sit there and say that like, oh, it's the game's fault because it's not the game's fault. Obviously, it is on me. It is a skill issue, but it's just I'm losing patience to the idea that I have to like I may have to restart the entire game, and that to me is just kind of bumming me out. And it's like, yeah, I may just give up on this game at this point because I can't tell you the last game where I was like, I need to replay the game from the start. The only game that has ever happened to me was Resident Evil 0, and that is just because like I simply just sucked at the game. Just straight up I couldn't aim in the game that well. I couldn't manage my resources that well, and the Bat Boss just destroyed my inventory. Just destroyed it because of the aiming. So that was the only game that I could not like get further in. So this is the other game that's like, yeah, I can't progress. Like I can try to grind, but I don't even think that's gonna help because I'm doing these other bounties, and I just want to say this: I've done all the bounties in this game. Like it's not like oh I'm leaving bounties behind. I'm just not doing them. I've did all of them. Like it was to the point where it's like I would do all of them, and it's like every time I would check the recruitment center, it's like there's no new bounty because I think what this game does is when you move on to the next story segment is when they give you new bounties, which sure, and I guess you could argue, well, then you should have done the other side missions that they give you in the game. It's like, but a lot of these are just boring side missions I just don't want to do. And the other thing to keep in mind is they may have you go to a place that takes days away. Like, oh, this place you have to sacrifice 2 days to get to. Like, I like the idea of like, oh, you have to like manage your days too, but it's like I'm tight on time even as it is right now, and it's like I can't reasonably take 2 days to go someplace in that game. Like it's just there's stuff that I just don't think is gonna work out, and I could be wrong about that because I could be misjudging because I think it could take you 2 days to get there, but it doesn't take you a day to go back. But if I need to go back, that's gonna take another 2 days. So it doesn't pan out in my opinion. So like I started having multiple saves throughout this leg of the game, but it really is to the point where it's like I'm not feeling like going back and doing all this, and it's just it may be more beneficial to just play the game from the start, which I also don't want to do because that's gonna like it's just oh there's just parts of the game I just don't like. So at this point, it's like I'm stuck in a hard in a rock place in this fucking game, and I don't understand why. This is the only Atlas game that fucking filtered me this badly. Like, when I played SMT3, I saw people in my chat when I was streaming it, like, oh, the Matador fight's gonna like fucking kick him out of this game. He's not gonna be able to go through it. I passed that boss fight. Then I would go to like the next boss, like the White Trumpeter. I thought was also gonna be one that was gonna like filter me, but I went through that. But this game is just like I can't do anything. And then the other thing that gets me a lot is I would debuff the enemy. The enemy would like do an insane buff, or it's like insanely buff their defense and offense and agility or whatever. I would use the Kaja on them, or to remove all the buffs on them. I would do that, and then like that, and then the next character in line would either not be the character that has the weakness that I need, it or it would just miss. So then when the enemy goes, they get to rebuff themselves again, and that would be in the same loop. Because the turn order is also, I think it judges off of agility, I want to say, or something. I don't know the criteria on how it determines turn order, but the turn order has also fucked me. It's just like I can't do anything meaningful with my turns. Like by the time I do something meaningful, it and even if I did get to do that, oh, the character misses on a pivotal turn, and then it's the enemy's turn, and then they can do what they want. Like it's always like the RNG is never in my favor. Like it just seems like it seems very coincidental a lot where it's like, okay, I need this to land. I need this to land. Please just land. It doesn't need to be a week. I don't it doesn't need to land a critical, just hit or do something, and it would just miss. And then that would be it. Like it would just be stuff like that, or I'd be locked in a situation where I'm constantly trying to heal, rebuff, debuff, all this stuff. And then by the time I do all of that, it's like, okay, nope, that didn't matter. Like it would just be wasting turns. And that would also happen. Like it's hard to describe, and I feel like that obviously I'm not optimizing something. And it is what it is. It's just it feels like I just need to restart the game because I think a lot of these classes I have as well that I'm like trying to level up through the S-Link system. I'm doing it like way too late in some cases, but it's just bizarre. I don't understand, and I'm kind of like getting frustrated with it too. So that's why I was like debating about lowering the difficulty, but even then, that's not even giving me the outcome I was hoping for. Like Xenoblade gave me the outcome I was looking for, where it's like, okay, you're on casual mode, you'll just be able to beat it. You don't need to worry about levels. You can just kind of go through the game just normally. So it's like, okay, like that's fine. And this doesn't do that. It's just more like you get to experience the game. Like it's just bizarre. So I am gonna keep trying to grind. It's just even the place I'm grinding in, like I'm doing these bounties that are not even worth it to me. Like not like I did this one where it's like you're in a dungeon and all of the enemies are like weak to light. Some are weak to like darkness, but they have such great turns and they have like great affinities where it's like they resist other stuff, and it's just they're just resource eaters. Like they're just eating my resources, and it's like yeah, by the time like I gain like half a level, I'm gonna have to leave and then come back. So it's like I'm not really gaining anything from doing this. Oh, sorry, this is some bullshit. Some bullshit's happening. But yeah, it's just I'm getting frustrated with this, and it's like I'll keep trying, but these areas where I'm like grinding is just not. It's just eating resources. Uh, they're either resistant to what I need them to not be resistant to, or it's like whatever. I go to then I try to do a different area. That's like okay, maybe this will be a little bit better. All the enemies are level 30. Oh, okay. I'm thinking fine. Maybe the bounty in this area is gonna be decent. Maybe it's gonna be like level 40, level 50. No, the boss is level 60, and it's only weak to dark, which I have only like one character with a dark skill. And it's like and this is the other issue I had with this game that I don't like the skills. Like I feel by the time you get to any meaningful skills in the game, you have to do so much grinding in each archetype, and it's like that I'm just not liking. Like I would much rather spend time fusing demons or personas or whatever to get like what I need than just oh I need Dekaja. What gives me that? Oh, I need to get this like I need to find this guy at night. I need to do whatever quest he had for him to then decide to hang out with me. Then he'll give me the class that I need to get Dekaja. Okay, that's gonna take some time. Okay, fine. Oh, I need medium damage. This character did not like. I did not invest in this, so they have to start from the beginning, and they give you items to like facilitate this, but they don't offer them. Like you have to earn them. I mean, unless you could buy them, you probably could buy them honestly, but it's still like stuff you have to do out of the way, and it's just like I don't like this. I wish I could just get the skills I need like when I need them instead of like getting stuck with what I end up getting. Like it just loses interest to me. And it's like a lot of times I can't even fully optimize the skills I need. It's just bizarre to me and it's frustrating. Like I think it's the amount of management that this game has that's just not clicking with me. Like I like the combat. The combat's like my favorite part, but it's like it's just not worth it. Like it's just weird, and it kind of feels like in some cases like the answer was where you would have an enemy where it would have a weakness to fire, but it would also evade fire. So it's like you may be able to land it, but they also have a good chance of dodging it. And that's what this feels like. It's that you can have the tools to succeed, but you may not be able to utilize them to the fullest, I feel. Because also, like a lot of these like archetypes, the inheritance skills are like 1 to 2 skills. And it's like, oh, 1 to 2 skills. Wow. And then you have to do the S links to get them to get more inheritance to it. So it's just never ending. Then like with Juna and Yufa, I don't like their mechanic either. It's just so much is going on, and it's like I just want skills. Like I this is so much noise added to this. That's like you know what's wrong with just hey go to like this room, fuse demons. There you go. Now it's like I have to think about the S links more. I have to think about this more. So it's just not connecting with me to the point where it's like I'm losing patience with it. But that's where I'm at with Metaphor. I don't like it pains me because I like the game. I want to like the game, and I see why people love this game. But it's just these things are getting in my way. That's just frustrating me. Like it's insane. It's insane. I'm going Joker mode over fucking Metaphor. So that's where I'm at currently. I don't know if I'll ever beat this fucking game, but I may have to replay the game, and maybe I'll get a new level of appreciation. Anyways, that's it for Metaphor. I'm done talking about that bullshit. Uh, I'm still watching Lazarus. I've watched episode 2. It's meddling. It's kind of I see why a lot of people like are kind of like phoning out of this and this and that. But I also feel like a lot. I've seen some people like throw shade at like Watanabe for this anime. I don't think it's him. I'm just gonna say, this is an anime that Adult Swim is doing, and I don't think Adult Swim can do anime. When was the last anime they put out that people loved, right? Like, and people could probably argue about Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, but these were like done by other studios. They just aired them. They were just distributing those animes. That's all they were doing. This is like Adult Swim, like getting involved in like making an anime for their own network, and I don't think they're good. Ninja Kamui started off interesting, and that lost the sauce pretty quickly. Like I kind of lost interest during it. It's like, oh, okay. Like I would just simply forget that it aired, and I just wouldn't care. Then until I was bored. Like that's where that was going. Uzumaki had a lot of development problems with Warner Brothers and Adult Swim, so it's like that was in a lose-lose situation. It was really like, what do you do with this turd? And this, I don't know if it would have the same issue as Uzumaki necessarily, but I just can't trust Adult Swim with this anime. So it's like it feels like that he's just making do with what's given. But I also think like The other thing I'm thinking about as well is Watanabe did that other anime, Terran Resonance, which I don't think anyone even talks about, and that also had a very slow pace to it, but I loved it by the end. So I feel like this is gonna be another one of those situations, uh, that it's just gonna be like kind of whatever, and then the ending's gonna be really good, uh, But we'll see by the end, and I guess I do think that Watanabe is probably going to be nearing a retirement announcement. I don't think he's going to be doing any more after this. It just feels kind of like these projects seem very kind of like personal. Not personal in the sense like, oh, he always wanted to tell this kind of story, but personal in the sense that like he's not interested in telling like to make another cultural hit, and more just stuff that he's thinking about. Like, oh yeah, this because like this like Lazarus, for example, like terrorism dealt with like all these political movements and all this other stuff. So like that's obviously like commentating on that. This is commentating on like the healthcare system, or like pain, or like people getting addicted to painkillers, and what's gonna happen with this dependence on this, and what if this had more severe consequences. Like these are just like kind of thoughts that I think he's just kind of exploring, and that's where I think what this is. I don't think he's interested in like making a compelling story, and more of just this idea. And I think that's fine for him to like, because I think he's already like made it, so he doesn't have to like worry about like, oh, I need to like please the masses with something. It's more just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this, and it's gonna air, and it's just gonna put it out. So I'm more willing to give this more of a shot than Ninja Kamui. I don't think like people were calling it mid. And they said the second episode was a waste of time. Like I get it, but I enjoyed it because I let for what it is. I don't know. I don't have this much of like a passion to when it comes to this, because it's more of like, if it's something that's this low moving, I think it is gonna build something by the end. And again, I'm also basing this off of my initial thoughts of Terran Resonance, which was also kind of like a slow moving show that kind of amount of nothing, and that also did not get any hubbub. Like nobody talked about Terran Resonance. Like I can't remember. I was the only one that actually was kind of like looking at it. I was like, oh, is it coming out? And then I lost interest because nobody was talking about it. And then this came out and nobody was talking about this as well. So it kind of makes me think that these are more like small personal project that Watanabe is doing. Like that's why I think like even the English dub cast are not heavy hitters. Like he would get Steve Blum for like seemingly almost all of his anime, and this is just like whatever. And I would kind of like wonder, because Space Dandy was canceled at one point, I think, and I wonder if that's what kind of made him want to do less big projects and more like these small little projects that he just wants to like kind of put out. So I wonder with that. But I think that's kind of what Lazarus is. I don't think this is meant to be like another magnum opus, and more of just like, I'm just gonna put this idea and focus on this and put that out, and that's it. I don't think it's really doing anything that's grander than that. A lot of people wanted me to react to that JoJo trailer. I don't like reacting to teaser trailers. I'm just gonna say it, because these are like 1 minute long things where it's just gonna either show a still image or it's just gonna show nothing, and it's like, I know, everyone loves JoJo. Everyone's into JoJo. I'm gonna watch Steel Ball Run, obviously, but I don't need to see the teaser for it. Like, oh yeah, they're like, I understand like the gimmick, like, oh, this is like the new universe after Stone Ocean. So it's like back in the 1980s or whatever, or the 1880s. I don't know, whatever. It's like old timey, whatever, horseback riding and shit. So it's like, okay, that's fine. I don't know much about this, and I don't want to know anything about it. I've already seen some stuff where people are like, I can't wait till people see this one character. Oh, they're gonna see this and they're gonna have discourse. So I'm gonna see where I'm gonna land with that, I guess. I think this is also the JoJo that has that one character that's like America Man, almost like everything about him has like has American icons in it. Like, has the American flag and all this other stuff. So I know some of the stuff like that from random references. Uh, What else do I know? There's something else I thinking about Steel Ball Run that is in my mind, but I saw one. I didn't understand the panel, but they said, "Oh, I hope this says they got Bohemian Rhapsodied," and I could not like. I couldn't get the reference, but I'm also not that smart, so maybe I'm too dumb. Maybe I'm too dumb for it, but or it'll make more sense when I see more people talk about this scene if it changes or not. But we'll see. I am glad that David Production is still animating. A lot of people were theorizing that they were not going to use David Production, which I don't. I do not believe that rumor. People thought that it was going to go to Mappa. No, I don't think that they were going to do that because you look at Stone Ocean. You watch the credit sequence of Stone Ocean. You're telling me that they're gonna like say, yeah, we're not going with David Production anymore. Like it's very obvious. David Production loves JoJo. Like that whole thing was like a whole love letter to JoJo. It has all these references to all of the animes that they've worked on. So I could not imagine them just not going back to David Production, which kind of put them on the map if you think about it. Because what else has David Production like put out that people love as much? Cells at Work. I mean, Cells at Work is good, but I mean, are they doing more of Cells at Work? I don't know. I think they've done another anime, but but nobody talks about their other stuff. It's always JoJo. So, I think David Production would be very like mad if they went to someone else. So I think David Production's JoJo's animation studio. The one thing people are also debating is how will it be distributed. I theorized. I'm thinking it's gonna go to Hulu because I thought it was very odd for years and years and years. Hulu never had the dub for the other JoJos. It would only have the dub for uh part 1 and 2. I don't think they had the dub for Stardust Crusaders. I don't think they ever did. But then one day, just randomly, they had dubs for the entire JoJo, like up until like Golden Wind, I think. And I think they even added Golden Wind. Like they had all of them. Like it just dumped on Hulu, and I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if they're just doing this because they're gonna move to Hulu again. Because I don't know, but they can stick with Netflix because now Netflix is now doing weekly anime again. The only ones they're not doing weekly is I think their own uh original animations like the Devil May Cry bullshit and all that kind of stuff is getting the full dump on their service. So this could also be weekly like Sakamoto Days was. But we'll see what happens with that. But I would not be surprised if it goes to Hulu. I think they might go to Hulu. I'm thinking it might go to Hulu. I mean, people were already discussing that like years ago because of they saw JoJo on Disney Plus on in Europe, so like, oh, there's something there. So maybe JoJo's gonna go back to Hulu, maybe. Uh, but whatever. I mean, as the people gonna care about where it's gonna be because you know what they're gonna do. You know what anime heads are gonna do. But I don't know where it's gonna go. I just know that a lot of people were upset with how Netflix handled Stone Ocean, but I've always said this though. It's to me a blessing in disguise because I feel like if it went to HBO or Max or whatever during that time, I think they would have canceled it because I think Warner Brothers has a stake in JoJo to a degree. Uh, but I think right now they're fine with it because it's going to other platforms. But I think if it went to Max, that Zaslav guy is gonna say, "Oh, JoJo, this nah, cancel it. We're not doing JoJo anymore. Let's own this IP forever." So I think that just be glad it did not go to Max during this dumbass time when fucking Discovery got involved and then ruined a great streaming like, oh my god, I could rant about fucking HBO Max again. Like, I've never seen a service go from, wow, an amazing product, wow, highly recommend to, okay, yeah, this sucks now. Like, it just tanked so fast. Like, it really got to the point where you could argue Netflix is better. Like, that's how bad Max got, like, shat on. When people say that Netflix is better, you fucked up. So yeah, just be grateful it did not stick on Max at that point. Now Max is whatever. It's like any other fucking streaming service at this point. But it has a lot of junk on it. But right now I'm enjoying the show The Pit. The Pit's great show. Highly recommend. But yeah, and there's that. So yeah, I'm not gonna react to that JoJo teaser. I'm sorry to the one dude who asked. I just know I'm gonna watch it anyway. I kind of want to go in like with just as much as I already know now. I don't want to see any more about it because I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. You know, there's JoJo's that I thought were weak that I still enjoyed because the animation was there and there was cool stuff about it. Like Golden Wind. Golden Wind might be my least favorite. Not really because of anything else. It was just like I did not care about the villain. Like I just thought the villain was kind of boring. Like, you know, you look at part one. Okay, Dio. What more can you say? It's Dio. Part two, Dio again. I mean, why Brit? No, it's not Dio again. I'm dumb. It was the stone mask. I thought that was cool. I love the fucking lore with the stone mask and the Pillar Men. Like that, I loved it. I love that. I love Battle Tendency. And Joseph was so cool. My favorite JoJo was Joseph and Jolene. And Josuke, the three goats, if you will. So I liked Battle Tendency a lot more than I thought I would. And again, Lisa. I love Lisa. Why can't we get a? I heard there's a spin-off with her. Animate that. That I'm looking forward to. Come on, man. Come on now, dog. Uh, Stardust Crusaders. Look, it's a generic formula. Oh, a bunch of friends just travel the world to get to the main bad guy, but it works for this, and it was a great anime. I watched it. I rewatched it like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I like it way more than I thought I would. You know, pretty good. The only episode I did not like about it was the episode that focused on Iggy. I don't like Iggy. Blame whatever. I just did not like Iggy. I did not like him. But it is what it is. Still a good emotional ending, but whatever. Diamond's Unbreakable. I mean, arguably the most tame because it's like just a serial killer. That's the main bad guy. But I liked it. It was a very chill JoJo, and I loved Billy Kometz's performance as Josuke. He just sold that character to me. It's like, oh, love it, love that character. The only bummer I had with it was the end. They still gave the wins at Jotaro, and it's like he had his day in the sunlight. Give it to Josuke. He's a cooler character, but whatever. They have Golden Wind, which again, like that villain is just kind of like whatever. Stone Ocean. I love Stone Ocean. Great JoJo. Like, look, I know people don't like the youngster, and I'm not gonna debate that because I don't like youngster either. I mean, not his performance of Kiryu does not fit. I agree with a lot of people about his criticism there and all that kind of stuff. I ain't gonna fault that, but he was a good Poochie. I hate to break it to you. I think that was what he was. That was his calling. He could have just done Poochie and said that's that, and go off into the sunset and just stick to YouTube. That would be fine. I think he was a great Poochie. Everything else, whatever. But that's as much as I'll say about that. Otherwise, I love that. I loved Stone Ocean. Jolene was a great character, flawless character. So that's why I'm sticking with Steel Ball Run. Solid all the way through. When the weakest is Golden Wind, it's pretty good regardless. So that's all I gotta say about that. I think this will be just a short podcast. Why ramble on longer than needed, right? So thanks for watching this bullshit video. But feel free to explain in the comments your thoughts on lowering the difficulty. Do you do that? Do you lower the difficulty in games, or do you just eat it or until the end, and then if it gets too hard, you just say, "I'm done. Don't need to beat it." Like, what do you do in situations that you may debate? Should I lower the difficulty? Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. See ya.